Hi everyone, it's Erica back on the Studio Katia YouTube channel, and you may recognize this outfit. The reason for this is that I have pre-filmed quite a lot because currently I am away celebrating a friend's wedding. So yes, but enough about me. We are here to make some cards using the Daisy Bunch stamp set. So I have here a card that I've colored with Copics, and then I finished it off with some glossy accents and some, well, just one or two of the lovely new satin lemon pearls. You know, it just goes so well, doesn't it? And I've also done some creative die cutting to create a mini slimline rather than a full-size slimline, because otherwise there would be so much space outside above the flowers. I thought I need to kind of shrink it down a little bit. So we are going to get coloring and card making, and I will be turning this down, and then we will go through the coloring itself. And some of the coloring is sped up. What I have tried to do is make sure that there is freeze frames on all of the Copic marker colors that I have used in all of the different areas, so that you can actually, if you want to, just click pause, take a screenshot or write them down, and then you can use those exact ones if you want to get the exact colors like this. Yes, a little bit. Ooh, I don't know if the light is catching up on this. I will show pictures at the end because I think the light is kind of blending out all my colors, so it just looks like a blob of brown, blob of orange, and tiny little halo yellow. So we are going to get coloring, as I mentioned. And down below in the description box, you will find compensated affiliate links to all of these products. And please bear in mind that when you use an affiliate link, it doesn't cost you anything extra ever. But it helps companies and crosses both. So now we are going to jump straight in here. So we're going to stamp up the Daisy Bunch with some Copic friendly ink. And I'm of course using a Misty because I am unable to stamp anything without using a Misty. So you notice here first as well, I hadn't put it on properly, so there was a little bit of an air bubble. And I'm also using like a Chucky tool to help me get an even pressure without rubbing with my hands too much. But that is that stamped up ready, and I'm going to be using my little color chart. I usually make a color chart every time I color, but this time I was like, well, I actually kind of like a lot of those colors, so I'm going to be using those for the middle of the flowers. And then we're going to be using a lot of these yellows, plus another one. I missed one as well, which I think is the RY12. So these are the ones we're going to be using for the petals, and then we're going to be, so there it is, yeah, YR12. And then we're going to be using these greens for our leaves and stems. So there you go. If you want to grab a snapshot, now's the time to pause it there. So the reason I do these little charts is because even though I have a Copic chart, it doesn't always, I think it's faded a little bit, so it doesn't show the colors as vivid as they should be. So I do every now and again, by now I have quite a few of them already. I will take some of the colors out that I want to use, and I will put them down on the paper so that I will know exactly what it looks like right here and now. And then I will use that maybe if I color, because just because it goes on my chart doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go onto my card. But with my greens here, you might have been able to see that right at the sort of the top, I've gone in with my darkest colors. And then I have sort of dragged the color down using lighter and lighter colors to make sure that the contrast is staying quite dark. So where there's things like, there's going to be a bit of a shadow, like under the flower, under a leaf, and if a leaf is bent, that sort of thing, that's where the dark color is going to go. And then we're going to use those lighter colors onto areas where the sun will hit, so that they will naturally be a lot lighter. And this is just a great way of kind of giving your image a little bit more life and 3D look, basically. So, I mean, that's the goal, isn't it? To kind of bring your image to life. So we're nearly finished here with our stems, and this doesn't take long at all because they are not very big. So we're gonna move on to the actual flowers themselves very soon, but I'm just going over here sort of putting off the finishing touches. And then we're going to take our yellows and we are going to probably, I generally, when I want a really, really smooth look, I will go in with my lightest color first, right at the top, because generally I will have the dark color in the middle and then lighter towards the sort of end of the petals, I guess. So I'm going to go really, really light with Y11 right at the ends, basically. And then we're going to do all of them now. But then generally what I do is I do one flower at a time. So first that really, really light color, and then we're going to go dark. So this is our YR12, and this is going to go right at the base of our petal. And then we're going to go in Y17, blend that out, and then we have Y18, and we're going to go all the way, almost all the way across. So every time you change your color, you're going to go all the way from the base to just a tiny bit past the last color, so that you get a really nice and smooth blend. And then we're going to be using the brown markers, as I mentioned, to fill in the middle of the flower. And then here, apparently I went against my own advice, and I decided to just go every single color on every single flower. But generally, as I said, I do prefer to do one flower at a time, but here I seem to just go willy-nilly against the grain of my own advice. So we're coloring, and then adding some detail to those middles. And then I realized I needed a little bit more because they just kind of like faded out a little bit. But here's our coloring all done. And yeah, it definitely isn't that fast. In real life, this is sped up quite a lot, but it's just to give you an idea of what it can look like. So here I'm going to be using the dotted slimline set 2. And I decided to make it a mini slimline, as I said, because I realized there was just so much space at the top there. So we're going to go mini slimline rather than full-size slimline. So first I thought, okay, well, let's cut that out, and then we're going to add in that scallop. And then I lost that footage for some reason. I couldn't find it. So you're just going to have to take my word for it that I managed to actually cut them up using my die cutting machine, and we have managed to make a mini slimline. And then we have a little sentiment, and I decided to just go for like hello. Just a super simple hello, because I really like having my flowers as the main focal point. So one reason why I tend to go simple with some of my sentiments is because I don't want to take away from what I feel is the focal point. And here you can see I'm using my grid mat to make sure I get my sentiment strip on straight. And we're just going to press down there for a little second to make sure that that is really securely on. And then we're going to trim that down. Now, in the little holes on that scallop, I filled them in with a bit of glossy accent just to add a little bit of interest. And then, of course, the middle of the flowers and just a few of the lovely satin lemon pearls. But that is our card. And it's going to need to dry, and I'm going to have to put this away because I have a really, really bad habit of touching glossy accents before it's really dry. But that is the card, and I really, really hope you have found this a fun and easy breezy tutorial and will try this for yourself. And I will see you soon again. Bye for now.